Today we're going to make the most delicious mushroom pizza you've ever tried. This recipe breaks all the rules and the traditionalists might not be too happy about it, but it makes a lot of sense. Bear with us. I mean, just look at that. Okay, let's begin. So we're going to start by rolling out our pizza dough. The recipe is down below. For this recipe there's quite a bit of sauce, so I like to roll it a bit thicker, about a half a centimeter or a quarter of an inch. I'm also going to leave a bit extra on the edges for a nice crust to develop. I've also rolled the dough onto some baking paper. This will help prevent it from sticking. So now we're going to prepare our mushrooms. I have three types today. I have some girolles, some white mushrooms, and some shiitake. If you can't find these varieties locally, just substitute what's fresh, what's in season, and it will be delicious. So we're going to start by cutting the shiitakes. So we want nice, thick slices for this. So this recipe works well with just about any type of mushroom, but I think it's nice to have a mix, a nice variety. So depending on your location, or the season, or what you can get your hands on. Morels, porcinis, ceps, lobster mushrooms, pine mushrooms, just about anything. If you're into foraging for mushrooms, this is also a great way to use them. So I'm using a few different techniques to slice my mushrooms. If the mushrooms are on the soggy side, it's good to either pull cut or roll cut. When they're a bit drier like these white mushrooms, you can go a bit faster without risking crushing them. So for this recipe, we want to keep the slices relatively thick. We want the mushrooms to absorb the sauce that we're going to add to this, rather than release water. But keep in mind, we also don't want to cut them too thick because they won't cook properly. So now I'm just going to slice up these girolles. And we're going to mix all the mushrooms together. So now we're going to take some garlic and we're going to microplane it onto the mushrooms. If you don't have a microplane like this, you can use a grater or simply finely chop your garlic cloves. So I'm going to use about 1 clove for this amount of mushrooms. Add fresh cracked pepper, and some salt. And now for the good part, we're going to put on some melted butter, about half a stick's worth, 125 grams-ish. And we're going to give this one last mix. And then we're going to leave this for a couple minutes. We're going to let this garlicky, peppery butter soak into the mushrooms. So after a few minutes, we're going to take some creme fraiche and we're going to spread it on the dough. So keep in mind that we're using quite a bit of butter for this recipe, so I would avoid adding extra olive oil like you would on a regular pizza. So now we're going to spread this creme fraiche out evenly. We're going to preheat the oven to the hottest setting. Also, if you have a pizza stone, preheat that. If you don't have a pizza stone, cook the pizza on the bottom of the oven. So when the creme fraiche is spread out evenly, we're going to add our mushrooms. So we're going to spread these evenly. So this may look like a lot, but once he's cooked, they're going to shrink. So we want these nice and spread out. We just want one nice flat layer. So this is not even cooked yet and it smells amazing. So we're going to top this with some Parmesan cheese. And we're going to put it in the oven for about 5 minutes. And 5 minutes later, here we are. Look at that. Our mushrooms are golden brown. Our sauce is not oozing off, it's not split. The crust looks perfect. I like to add a bit of extra Parmesan at the end as well. It has a very different flavor when it's not cooked. some chives, and there we are. So again, this recipe is very unorthodox, but it is delicious. I don't want to offend anybody, any traditionalists out there, but this is one of the best things I've ever tried. And you should try it too. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to see further recipes and techniques, please like and subscribe. Happy cooking!